one. Speaking of coaches who made decisions that wind up not working out the way they wanted, they will be looking to stave off elimination tonight against Minnesota. By now you know, Game 4, second half, JJ Redick becomes the first coach ever to play the same 5 players for an entire half of a playoff game, at least as back as far as 1998, because that's how far back we can track these things. Yesterday he was asked if he regretted the decision.
No, and you know what? Looking back now, what have we scored? 19, 20, 13 in the fourth quarter. It's a trend. More so than that. I mean, we missed our 2 best players missed layups at the rim. You know, it's I don't think they missed layups because they were tired.
All right, Joe Fortenbaugh, gambling expert, jumps into the conversation as well. But Wendy, I start with you. What was your reaction to what we just heard from JJ Redick?
Well, he certainly knows his team better than anybody. I don't quite follow the logic because he's talking about how he didn't think fatigue was a factor, but then he's complaining, or pointing out, I should say, that his team is not getting it done in the fourth quarter. I just think those are related. You look at this series, the Lakers have been outscored by 36 points in the fourth quarters of these 4 games. Specifically in games 3 and 4, they got outscored by 10 in game 3 and 13 in game 4. To me, that's the difference, and I just think fatigue played a role. He clearly does not trust his bench. He clearly does not trust his starting center. That's not his problem necessarily, but I don't think he can run this back and assume that that it's going to change. He needs to figure out a way to have Luka and LeBron get at least a little bit of a blow, because what they're doing is not working in these fourth quarters.
I agree with Wendy. If you listen to what JJ was saying, he basically was saying, look, fatigue was not a factor. Our guys were just tired, okay? I mean, if you look at the end of the game, they're missing layups, they're missing shots they never normally would. We haven't done anything in the fourth quarters of these games. Our guys are tired, but fatigue is not a factor.
I'm not buying it.
He's not giving his team an excuse.
I'm not buying it because LeBron James looked incredible defensively in that game in the fourth quarter. He made unbelievable plays, chase down, block, steals. He was all over the place defensively. I know Wendy said the other day he was resting on offense. He only took 2 shots and one was a bad 3. But they were getting after it. When can we just say that the Timberwolves are a really good defensive team that have length defenders that know how to defend? They got away with a trip that should have been called. It wasn't. They had a look to tie it that they missed. There was an opportunity for the Lakers to win this game, and they didn't, because the Timberwolves made big plays, and they are a really good defensive team that matches up well against them. We cannot just keep saying it's fatigue when LeBron James is 40. You can't say that on one side, and on the other side say it's amazing what he's doing at 40. Look at him playing defense. I'm sorry, I'm not buying it. I'm not using fatigue as an excuse. I am crediting the Timberwolves for making great stops and shutting that game down, and the Lakers not getting a call they should have gotten.
I love you like a brother, but I couldn't disagree more.
No.
You got your spot in the next Anthony Edwards commercial very clearly, because I agree with that case. Now, this is what I will say. We all had a chance.
You agree with him or with me?
Hold on.
You could say it's okay. You could say you side with me. It's all right, Monica.
I do think that the Wolves are not getting enough credit. But what I will say is we all had a chance to get to know JJ Redick, and he is a high performer at all levels. And so I think what you're hearing in that sound, whether you want to go to the actual choice of not using the word fatigue or tired or not, you are hearing the level of expectation that he has for his team. He lasered in on 2 layups, and he's right. Luka Doncic and LeBron James, I don't care what time of the game it is, y'all are supposed to make layups. And so I think for him, he has such incredible expectations. Remember, he has a great relationship with LeBron prior to becoming his head coach. Luka supposedly asked Luka when he joined the team, can I coach you hard? Supposedly said yes. And so for him, you are seeing the level of expectation that he has for those guys, and he's not willing to make an excuse.
I understand what you're saying. That's what I think he's doing. He's not giving his players an excuse at the end for the next game if they're tired to say, well, it's okay because you are fatigued. But the idea that LeBron James does not take a shot in the entire fourth quarter the other day, and that has nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, whatever. Did not score a point. Did not score a point in the fourth quarter of that game the other day when he has been playing great, when he was asked to carry them almost by himself on Friday night and then turn around 36 hours later and play the entire second half. The idea that fatigue isn't a factor in a 1-possession game.
It's a factor in every game. Of course it is. But it's all about makes and misses in this sport, and they were missing shots. And as we just showed there, how about DiVincenzo's defense? A couple of steals he made, just reading, seeing what they were doing. They know each other and what they're going to run very well. And in that particular point of the game, he and Naz Reid came off the bench and made phenomenal defensive plays, had impact plays. And you have to also sometimes just credit the other team. Sometimes it's
big
not.
Shots.
They got
tired. Big shots.
He hit 2 shots. Plus, like, really, if LeBron James decides he's going to go score, he's not going to do it. Like, or not attempt.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. I mean, that's the point.
No,
but he did.
You know, Greedy, he's not.
And by the way, national games have longer timeouts and longer commercial breaks, and there's plenty of time to catch your breath in the fourth quarter.
We get Ford and Bond here. What do you think of all this?
I would say that if they were that fatigued, you'd see it in the shooting, and they're shooting over 40% from deep over the last 2 games. So there might be some of it in the defensive side of the equation, but if you're looking at tonight's game, Minnesota's a sizable underdog here, 5.5. Now the money's coming in on the Lakers for good reason. We'll get to that in a minute. I would look to Minnesota to cover this number. 1, because of the shooting. I don't know what more the Lakers could do. Over 40% from 3 the last 2 games. They outshot Minnesota from both the field and 3-point range. You should win those games, and yet they didn't. The only Timberwolves loss in this series was an abomination of a shooting performance with that ranked 85th of 86 games played by Minnesota this season. But the thing is, and I got to bring this up, I know it's not popular for TV, but here for sports betting insights, the money on the Lakers, a big reason why, the whistle tonight. They're down 3-1. They're at home. We saw the free throw discrepancy in the last game. I know it's not a popular TV topic, but when you're betting this stuff, when you're betting this stuff, that is factored in tonight for sure.
How is that not a popular TV
It is
topic?
popular.
I made a living talking about that for 30 years. What are you talking about? Okay, because it's been pretty intense in here. Can everyone feel it? I can feel it. Of the final minutes of that game, with 2 of the most important players on the side waiting to get in. So the first question we have, Alan Hahn, is it fair to blame the coach, Tom Thibodeau, for this loss for the Knicks?
I'm going to say no, it's not fair to blame the coach for the loss because there's a lot of reasons why they lost while we're watching Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah, that's obviously the one. That's the Indiana game which we just talked about a moment ago on your screen. This is the point. Is the Knicks here last night.
Leaving them on the sideline, of course, is something that is maddening because in that moment you want the best closer in the game on the floor. But there were still 2 high-level players on the floor, Anthony Towns and Mikal Bridges, who should have made buckets in an important time. They didn't. So I think there's a lot of shared blame here.
Here's the way I look at this. Let's stop down on this for a minute again here, guys. We'll get back to run the floor, but Matt, bring it out and get Wendy back in here and get Monica in here. I said the same thing about JJ Redick yesterday. Of course the coach is to blame because that's your lot in life. You want to be an NBA head coach? You've got to make these decisions in real time. You've got to live with the consequences. There's nothing in the world easier than coming in here the following morning and sitting here with the benefit of having seen how it worked out and saying, oh, you got that wrong. As it turned out, there's no question. If he knew how it was going to go, he would have done it differently. So do you say that you blame the coach? Yes, because that's the coach's job is to make these decisions without knowing the results ahead of time. So I know it sounds critical or nasty or whatever it is to say, yeah, the coach gets blamed for the loss. That's the reality. When you're the coach, you make the decision, you live with the consequences. He would have done it differently if he had known how it was going to turn out. Is that fair?
I think that's 100% fair. And look, Tom Thibodeau, you can say what you want about the minutes, about how he plays guys, but one thing that is never said of Tom Thibodeau is that he is ill-prepared.
He's a great
100%, right? And so to have this moment, I hate to use a cliche, but sometimes that's how the ball bounces. Right. If you have been following the series, the likelihood that you go up and down the floor 4 times and not get a whistle, you don't see that often in this series. And then if you need any more solace, when Jalen Brunson nearly forces that steal, you see right then and there why he was holding on to that timeout so preciously, because it put the Knicks in a bad spot. It is unfortunate the way that the game bounced. I like what Hahn said in terms of you can divvy out blame, but again, Mikal Bridges got a great look. Karl-Anthony Towns to me reverted to a little bit of allowing Tobias Harris to put too much pressure on him because frankly he could have gotten deeper into the paint and got another good look in that same time frame while those guys were out.
Windman, final word from you on this for the moment.
Yes, you can second guess any coach in this type of situation. The thing is, Jalen Brunson is such a killer in these exact moments, these 3 possessions. You have to figure he gets at least 1 score, maybe 2, maybe generates, and that's why it's so high leverage, because the reason the Knicks are even in this spot ahead 3-1 is because Brunson gets it done in these spots. That's why it hurts so much. That's why the Knicks fans were crawling out of their skin on the sidelines last night.
Yes, I did. did an essay yesterday here on the show about how Brunson is the most clutch player in the NBA. It had 500,000 views on Twitter yesterday alone. Somehow Tom Thibodeau missed it because he that was Hembo's line. I'm kidding. The coach, be mad at Hembo. Don't be mad at me. All right, next stop is...
What's your favorite team? Comment below, and if you liked the video, please leave a like. This really helps the channel grow and brings you even more content. Oh, and if you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Click the subscribe button and activate the bell to receive all notifications. With each game, you notice that the NBA is getting more competitive every day, and all the teams are looking for reinforcements to win the championship. And only here can you follow your favorite team daily with incredible content from different sources. Here on the channel, there are new videos every day with analysis, curiosities, and the best moments in basketball. That's it for today, folks. Thanks for following along.